Aries, this is your July love reading, and this is focused on people who are perhaps newly involved or your relationship is not solidly established yet. Maybe you haven't even been dating for that long. So in the recent past, you have the Death card and Five of Cups. So for some of you, perhaps there's a strong tie to a Scorpio person. In the recent past, you probably experienced something that was very intense, and it changed you on a very deep level. It may have been a death, the death of a situation, the death of certain conditions or circumstances. There's a release here, a surrender to a power that may have been greater than your own. For some of you, these issues felt very stressful, very traumatic, very powerful. And they created some kind of change where there was no turning back, whether you wanted that or not. For some of you, this may have centered on some financial issues, large sums of money, legacies, inheritance, or shared assets. For others of you, perhaps there were health challenges to overcome, addiction, alcohol problems, surgery, trying to recover. And for some of you, maybe there were issues that centered around intimacy or sexuality or psychological issues. This is a card of endings, release, letting go. And so you've had to let go of something. And you probably weren't able to see things for what they were or be objective. You may have felt overwhelmed by your emotions, that all you could focus on was the loss, what you had to let go of, without fully realizing that you still had some kind of support system, perhaps in a very important or valuable partnership. And whether it felt like it or not then, there was a bridge over troubled waters. So change came about through some kind of tumultuous circumstance or event that, maybe shook you up a little bit, turned your world upside down. And it brought about an ending so that it could open a space for a new beginning. But again, this may have felt very unsettling as you were trying to close out this cycle. Now, presently, you have serendipity and the Queen of Cups. So right now you may be experiencing some good fortune. You're getting your wish, perhaps something that you didn't even anticipate. There's some kind of good luck, good fortune, and it may be tied to a Queen of Cups. She may be instrumental in your luck, or you may feel lucky to have this person in your life. Or if you have strong water energy, maybe you know exactly how to will circumstances to create the luck. This is a water sign person. This could be Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, and it may be their sun, their moon, or their rising sign. And there's a strong focus on the love you share. This person is very loving, very nurturing. They tend to take care of others. And when this person speaks, you trust what they're saying. They're a good listener. And it's easy to look at her and perhaps, see her as the ideal. Some of this that you're projecting onto her may be true, and some of it may simply be a projection, because although she's very warm and open, she's very difficult to truly get to know. There's a mystique about her, and that's what's so attractive. So for some of you, there's some luck that comes through the nurturance, the guidance, the love of this person. This is somebody who is able to smooth things over. They have a soothing influence over circumstances. Or maybe you're taking that role on. This is somebody that can breathe new life and hope into dead issues. They can solve difficult problems or settle some kind of dispute to everybody's satisfaction. And this could be a period where Your interests are being served. Perhaps your partner is ready to oblige your desires. This may be, a focus on your role as a mother or a desire to be a mother. It could be, your mother's influence. Maybe that has some bearing on your relationship, her guidance. This is the ideal feminine. And so you may be taking on those qualities or connecting to those qualities. This is somebody who knows how to keep the peace. If they want to, they can emotionally manipulate. They know how to create disturbance as well. But at the best, this is somebody with a no-nonsense attitude who is also caring. You can always rely on this person. Now, personally, your success comes in part in understanding that you can never rely on one matter or one person to be the answer. And it could be that you feel a great sense of peace because you have a relationship where each of you are allowed to be yourself. And so there's a lot of love, a lot of caring, a lot of nurturing. This person may, go out of their way to do small things, and maybe they cook for you, or there's some kind of way where they mother you, or they provide you some kind of security in the romance. So you have some luck in either getting or maintaining some ongoing stability and using your coping skills or relying on someone who has great coping skills. In the future, you have the Ace of Wands and Rebirth, and these are very similar cards. There's some excitement, some enthusiasm about a new desire. Your trailblazing and your ambition, your attraction is the motivating factor behind events. With rebirth, you're coming out of your cocoon. Maybe you've come out of isolation. Maybe you're starting to socialize more. Maybe you've, of course, you re-entered the dating scene, but you could be making some good physical transformations. Maybe you're changing your look, your image, your persona, the way you relate, the way you interact with others. Maybe you're feeling lighter, feeling freer, feeling happier. This is positive transformation. And because of your relationship, perhaps you're undergoing some kind of physical or mental or emotional renaissance. It could be that your relationship is making a personal transformation. Things are getting better between you. Maybe you are revitalizing this relationship, renewing it, changing it, or maybe you have a second chance. Whatever it is, you're very excited. But this Ace of Wands says that whatever fire there is, you need to act on that impulse because fire burns out quickly. This is likely to be a mutual attraction. How you feel about this person, they're very likely to feel about you. And they make you excited. They make you feel alive. And they make you want to make some personal changes and be your best self. And you may be bringing that out in the other person. Now, the archetype lessons that come through for your relationship, the roles that you'll be playing out, the story that, of the archetype is the student. And this, it can be you or it can be the other person playing the role or both of you, and you may work in the light or you may be operating in the shadow or going back and forth. So you'll be able to recognize either your role or that of the other person. Now, when in the light, humility and devotion to knowledge, openness to lifelong learning. Now, maybe, this person ties to your studies in some way. Or it could be that this is teaching you about life. You're open to learning about life. This person may give you some wise advice, or they have a positive influence. This person may be the love of your life. And this may be an infatuation that drives your existence. And it has a positive influence on you. Again, it makes you want to do better, to be your best. And you may be learning about the other person. Maybe you're learning about yourself, or learning about life, learning about love, or again, maybe you're an actual student, or your partner is. The shadow attribute is arrogance in the pursuit of destructive knowledge, unwillingness to translate knowledge into action. So knowing something and putting it to good use are two separate things. Now, how does the person that's playing out this role with you, how do they feel? What are they thinking that you may not be aware of? This is moving too quickly. I'm not ready. So you could be trying to salvage a situation because you feel this person is, creates fortunate circumstances. Maybe you feel lucky to be with this person. You're very excited about making this fresh start to recreate yourself or the relationship or a situation. And, if you're a student, you're a novice at something. You're inexperienced, or you don't have all of the information yet, or you haven't gained mastery over something. And perhaps this person, needs a little bit more time. Maybe things are moving just a bit too quickly. This is what they're feeling like. It doesn't mean that it won't move forward. It just means that they have some kind of hesitancy about what's taking place. And the lesson here is wishes make love possible to manifest. So you have to believe in something before it can manifest. You have to be able to visualize it, to actually believe that it's possible. And when you do, the universe works with you to support that. So there's something that you wish for, or that you have wished for, connected to a relationship or love. And something is occurring to let you know that it's possible. And indeed, that thing is manifesting. Your advice is big mistake. So perhaps the mistake is trying to push something before it's really ready to move forward. Something about your situation means you're going to have to do some kind of review, a review over your plans, the present course of action, because something about a situation is an error in judgment. And it may have something to do with this person feeling as if things are moving too swiftly. There's something that you've overlooked. And so you're going to have to take a time out during July to reassess maybe a costly mistake where, you lost a lot of money, or you were trying to save something, or there's some kind of possibility that there's been a major setback, that some of your goals are not quite realistic, or they're difficult to achieve without making some tweaks. So, don't get discouraged here. If you've made a mistake or there's been a failure, you're going to get some greater insight about how to take a different approach to revitalize, to renew, to make that fresh start. Maybe at the end of the day, you decide you don't want to pursue a particular objective, a path that you and your partner were on. Or maybe some recent choices have undermined the stability of your relationship, and you need to rethink that. You may discover that there's some changes in order. And in some cases, maybe that pursuing or continuing a relationship might be a mistake. So there's been the death of a situation. There's the possibility for a rebirth, and there's some luck involved, especially if you have a caring attitude, or you try to create some harmony. And if you're open to learning something, maybe, it's one of you is making some assumptions or thinking you know more than you do, pushing something, you're excited. This is a card about being raring to go, ready, let's do it now. But something about your partner's feeling says that they're not quite ready to move in the same direction that you are.